The moment you paid for it felt like the end of the financial transaction. The price was on the tag, you evaluated it, you decided it was worth it, you paid it. The item is yours, the cost is settled. Whatever number you spent at that checkout counter or on that order confirmation screen, that was the price. That was what it cost. The financial decision is behind you. Except it isn't. For most significant purchases, the sticker price is not the price. It is the entry fee, the amount required to begin a much longer financial relationship whose complete terms were never displayed anywhere near the price tag. The ongoing costs that follow the purchase, the insurance, the maintenance, the fuel, the subscriptions required to use it, the depreciation that erodes its value, the opportunity cost of the capital that could have been doing something else, are the actual price, paid in installments, paid monthly, paid annually, frequently paid for years after the original transaction felt complete. The gap between the sticker price and the true cost of ownership is one of the most consequential and least examined numbers in personal finance. Most people have a reasonably accurate sense of what they paid for things. Almost nobody has calculated what those same things are currently costing them to keep. This matters because the ongoing costs of existing possessions are a significant driver of monthly cash flow problems, constrained savings capacity, and the persistent feeling of not having enough money despite earning what should be enough. The purchases are already made. The items are already owned, but the financial relationship with each of them is ongoing, and for many of them, that relationship is extracting far more than most people realize. This video examines 10 things most people own right now that are costing significantly more than their sticker price. For each one, the complete math is laid out: the sticker price, the ongoing costs, the true annual cost, and what understanding that number changes about how the item should be evaluated going forward. The purchases are behind you. The costs are still very much present. Item 1. Your car. The sticker price of the average new vehicle sold in the United States in 2025 reached approximately $48,000, according to Kelley Blue Book. That number is what most car buyers focus on: the negotiated price, the monthly payment, the total financed amount. It is the least important number in the actual cost of vehicle ownership. AAA's 2024 Your Driving Costs study calculates the true annual cost of vehicle ownership across all expense categories. The results are significantly higher than most owners estimate. For a medium sedan, total annual ownership costs average approximately $12,182. For a medium SUV, currently the most popular vehicle category in the United States, the figure reaches $13,876 annually. Breaking down where that number comes from reveals why the sticker price is such a misleading cost indicator. Depreciation accounts for the largest single component, approximately $4,200 annually for a medium sedan in the first 5 years of ownership, as the vehicle loses roughly 15 to 20% of its remaining value every year. This cost is invisible in monthly cash flow because it doesn't require a payment. It simply happens, silently reducing the vehicle's value while the owner focuses on the payment that does show up monthly. Financing costs average approximately $1,800 annually for the average vehicle loan at current interest rates. Insurance averages $2,150 annually nationally, though this varies significantly by location, driving record, and vehicle type, with newer, more expensive vehicles commanding higher premiums. Fuel averages $2,000 to $2,500 annually based on average mileage and current prices. Maintenance and repairs average $1,200 annually over a vehicle's lifetime, with newer vehicles running lower and older vehicles running higher. Registration, taxes, and fees add approximately $500 annually. The combined true annual cost of $12,000 to $14,000 breaks down to $1,000 to $1,167 monthly for a single vehicle. A two-car household is spending $24,000 to $28,000 annually on transportation, regardless of what the sticker prices or monthly payments suggest. The sticker price captured attention at the purchase moment. The true cost captures income every month, every year, for as long as the vehicle is owned and replaced. Someone who trades vehicles every 3 to 4 years never escapes the depreciation curve. They continuously pay the steepest depreciation years on a new vehicle rather than transitioning to the lower depreciation and potentially lower insurance costs of a vehicle that has already absorbed its sharpest value decline. Understanding the true annual cost of vehicle ownership changes the decision framework entirely. The question is not whether the monthly payment is affordable. The question is whether $12,000 to $14,000 annually, the true cost, is the best use of that money given every other financial priority competing for it. Item 2. Your home or apartment. Homeowners focus on the mortgage payment. Renters focus on the monthly rent. Both numbers represent the most visible cost of housing and substantially underestimate the true ongoing financial commitment. For homeowners, the costs beyond the mortgage are significant and frequently underestimated at the point of purchase. Property taxes average 1.1% of home value annually, according to ATTOM data. On a $350,000 home, that is $3,850 per year, $321 monthly, added to the mortgage payment. Homeowners insurance averages $1,428 annually, according to the Insurance Information Institute's 2024 data, though this figure has risen sharply in recent years as insurers reprice climate risk, with coastal and disaster-prone markets seeing increases of 30 to 50% in recent policy cycles. Maintenance is the most variable and most consistently underestimated ongoing cost of homeownership. The Standard Financial Planning Guideline recommends budgeting 1 to 2% of home value annually for maintenance and repairs. On a $350,000 home, that is $3,500 to $7,000 per year, $292 to $583 monthly for an expense category that many homeowners budget at zero until something breaks. The roof that needs replacement costs $12,000 to $25,000. The HVAC system that fails costs $5,000 to $12,000. The plumbing issue that became a water damage situation costs whatever insurance doesn't cover. These are not exceptional events. They are predictable occurrences in the life cycle of any home, and their costs belong in the true monthly cost calculation. Utilities, electricity, gas, water, trash, average $300 to $500 monthly depending on home size, climate, and efficiency. HOA fees, where applicable, add $200 to $600 monthly in many markets. Lawn and exterior maintenance, pest control, and other recurring service costs add $100 to $300 monthly for many homeowners. The true monthly cost of owning a $350,000 home with a 30-year mortgage at 6.5% interest reaches $3,200 to $3,800 when all categories are honestly included, compared to the $2,212 principal and interest payment that represents the number most buyers focus on at closing. For renters, the gap between perceived and true cost is smaller but still present. Renters insurance, utilities not included in rent, parking costs in urban markets, and storage unit costs for overflow belongings all add to the true monthly housing cost beyond the rent payment itself. Item 3. Your smartphone. The phone was $999 or $1,199 or $1,399. That was the price. Except the phone cannot function as a phone, or as anything else, without a carrier plan. And the carrier plan is where the true ongoing cost of smartphone ownership actually lives. The average American spends $144 monthly on wireless service, according to J.D. Power's 2024 Wireless Customer Satisfaction Study. That is $1,728 annually on the service required to use the device. Over the average smartphone ownership cycle of 2.5 years, the carrier cost reaches $4,320, more than 4 times the cost of a $999 device. But the true cost of smartphone ownership extends beyond carrier service. Most major carriers offer device financing rather than outright purchase. Monthly payments of $25 to $55 per month spread across 24 to 36 months that are technically separate from the service plan, but practically inseparable from it. Someone paying $144 monthly for service plus $40 monthly for device financing is spending $184 monthly, $2,208 annually on a single communication device. Cloud storage subscriptions required to back up the device add $299 to $999 monthly. App subscriptions that have accumulated over years of device ownership add an average of $47 monthly, according to Sensor Tower. Cases, screen protectors, and accessories add $50 to $150 at purchase and periodically thereafter. The true annual cost of smartphone ownership, device financing, carrier service, cloud storage, app subscriptions, and accessories reaches $2,500 to $3,200 for the average user. The $999 sticker price was approximately 31 to 40% of the first year's true cost. The ongoing annual cost continues at $2,000 to $2,500 even after the device is paid off, driven entirely by the subscription and service layer the device requires to function. This awareness creates actionable carrier plans at $60 to $80 monthly from MVNOs, mobile virtual network operators that run on the same physical infrastructure as major carriers, provide equivalent coverage at 45 to 55% lower cost. The signal travels on the same towers. The savings reach $700 to $1,000 annually from a single account switch. Item 4. Your television and home entertainment setup. The television was a one-time purchase. It is sitting on the wall or the stand and generating no ongoing cost. This is the perception that makes home entertainment one of the most silently expensive categories in the average household budget. The television itself may indeed be paid for. Everything required to get content onto it is not. The average American household subscribes to 4.5 streaming services, according to Deloitte's 2025 Digital Media Trends Report. At an average cost of $14 monthly per service, that is $63 monthly, $756 annually, on streaming alone. For households that also maintain cable or satellite television, the combined entertainment subscription cost reaches $150 to $220 monthly. Households with premium sports packages, premium movie add-ons, and live television streaming services on top of standard subscriptions regularly exceed $250 monthly. The gaming layer adds another cost tier. A gaming console purchased for $499 requires game purchases averaging $60 to $70 each, online service subscriptions at $60 to $80 annually, and for serious gamers, additional subscription services providing access to game libraries. The ongoing annual cost of active console gaming reaches $400 to $800 beyond the original hardware cost. Internet service, the infrastructure all of the above requires, averages $70 to $90 monthly, $840 to $1,080 annually. While internet serves many functions beyond entertainment, a household that cancels all streaming and gaming services could meaningfully reduce or eliminate this cost. Its presence belongs in the true cost calculation of the entertainment ecosystem it primarily supports. The total true annual cost of home entertainment, streaming, cable where present, gaming, internet service, reaches $2,400 to $4,200 for the average household. The television that appeared to be a one-time purchase is actually the entry point into an ongoing financial commitment that costs more annually than most people spend on clothing. The rotating streaming strategy, subscribing to one service at a time, watching available content, canceling, moving to the next, reduces the streaming component from $756 to $150 to $200 annually, while providing access to identical content on a sequential rather than simultaneous basis.
Item 5. Your pet. The adoption fee or purchase price of a pet is the smallest cost in the entire financial relationship. A rescue dog might cost $150 in adoption fees. A purebred puppy might cost $1,500 to $3,000. Neither number bears any meaningful relationship to the true lifetime cost of pet ownership. The American Pet Products Association estimates average annual spending on dogs at $1,571 for basic care, food, routine veterinary visits, grooming, toys, and supplies. This figure represents the uncomplicated years. It does not include the costs that make pet ownership genuinely expensive: emergency veterinary costs, chronic health conditions, specialized diets required by aging or health issues, boarding and pet sitting during travel, training, and end-of-life care. Emergency veterinary costs are the most significant financial risk in pet ownership and the most consistently underestimated. A single emergency veterinary visit for a serious condition, intestinal obstruction, broken bone, sudden illness, costs $2,000 to $10,000, depending on the condition and the required treatment. According to the American Pet Products Association, approximately 44% of pet owners have faced an unexpected veterinary bill exceeding $1,000. Without pet insurance or a dedicated emergency fund, these costs are absorbed directly from household cash flow. Pet insurance averages $45 to $65 monthly for dogs, $25 to $40 for cats, $540 to $780 annually, and carries deductibles, coverage limits, and exclusions for pre-existing conditions that reduce the effective value of the coverage. It represents either an ongoing cost or an ongoing financial risk, not a cost elimination. The true lifetime cost of dog ownership across a typical 10 to 13-year lifespan reaches $20,000 to $55,000, according to research from Synchrony's 2024 Lifetime of Care study. The adoption fee was the entry point to a financial commitment measured in tens of thousands of dollars. Most adopters do not calculate this at the moment the puppy is in their arms. This is not an argument against pet ownership. The value pets provide in companionship, emotional support, and genuine quality of life is real and significant for millions of households. It is an argument for honest financial preparation, a dedicated pet emergency fund, genuine evaluation of pet insurance, and a realistic budget for the ongoing costs of animal care before the adoption fee is paid. Item 6. Your gym membership and fitness equipment. The gym membership costs $50 monthly, or the home treadmill costs $1,200. Or the Peloton was $1,445. These are the numbers that registered at the point of commitment. They are not the numbers that represent the true ongoing cost of fitness spending for the average household. The gym membership that costs $50 monthly costs $600 annually if used consistently. For the average gym member who attends 4.3 times monthly, approximately once per week, the effective cost per visit is $11.63. For the significant portion of members who join in January and stop attending by March while continuing to pay through December, the annual cost of the membership is $600 for a service used approximately 8 times, $75 per visit for a $50 monthly membership. The home fitness equipment version carries its own true cost calculation. The treadmill purchased for $1,200 requires maintenance, lubricant, belt replacement every 150 hours of use, motor servicing that costs $150 to $300 annually for regular users. Connected fitness equipment, like the Peloton, requires a subscription at $44 monthly, $528 annually, to access the content that differentiates it from a stationary bike. Without the subscription, the hardware's primary value proposition disappears. The Peloton that cost $1,445 costs $528 annually indefinitely thereafter. The broader fitness and wellness spending category, gym memberships, equipment subscriptions, workout apps, fitness trackers and their subscription tiers, specialized workout clothing, averages $300 monthly for the typical millennial household according to McKinsey research. That is $3,600 annually on fitness infrastructure, a significant portion of which delivers returns that a $30 monthly gym membership and outdoor exercise would provide equivalently.
Item 7. Your credit cards, the ones you carry a balance on. The credit card has no sticker price. It is not a possession in the conventional sense. But for the majority of American households carrying a revolving balance, the credit card is the most expensive thing in their wallet, charging a continuous, ongoing cost that most people have never calculated as an annual ownership expense. The average American household carrying a credit card balance owes $6,380 at an average interest rate of 24.37%, according to Federal Reserve and Experian 2024 data. The annual interest cost on that balance, assuming the balance stays roughly constant through minimum payments and ongoing use, is approximately $1,555. That is $1,555 paid annually to maintain access to money that was spent in the past, delivering no new product, no new experience, no new value of any kind in the current year. The opportunity cost compounds the true cost significantly. $1,555 invested annually at 8% returns over 20 years becomes approximately $76,000. The credit card balance that costs $1,555 in annual interest has a true annual cost, interest paid plus investment opportunity foregone, of approximately $5,355 in long-term wealth terms. But the behavioral cost is larger still. Research consistently shows that people spend more when paying with credit than with cash or debit. Estimates range from 12 to 18% more per transaction due to the psychological distance between the credit swipe and the actual financial impact. A household spending $2,000 monthly on discretionary purchases with credit cards may be spending $240 to $360 more monthly than the same household would spend with cash or debit. $2,880 to $4,320 annually in excess spending generated by the payment method itself. The credit card that rewards points on spending while charging 24% on carried balances is not a financial tool being used strategically. It is a wealth extraction mechanism being used as a spending enabler. The points earned are worth approximately 1 to 2% of spending. The interest paid on carried balances is 24%. The net financial impact is sharply negative regardless of how many rewards accumulate. Item 8. Your wardrobe. The clothing was purchased,
Each item had a price. The financial transaction for each piece ended at the register. This is the perception that makes wardrobe costs one of the most dramatically underestimated ongoing household expenses. The true ongoing cost of a wardrobe is not the purchase price of individual items, it is the replacement rate. How frequently items need to be repurchased as they wear out, go out of style, no longer fit, or are lost, multiplied by the average cost per item. For households purchasing primarily fast fashion at frequent intervals, the annual replacement cost significantly exceeds what a smaller wardrobe of quality items purchased less frequently would cost. According to Bureau of Labor Statistics consumer expenditure data, the average American household spends $1,866 annually on apparel and related services. This figure includes dry cleaning and laundry services, $200 to $400 annually for households with professional wardrobes requiring dry cleaning, which represent an ongoing maintenance cost attached to the original clothing purchase decision. Storage costs compound for households whose wardrobe exceeds their available closet space. Approximately 10% of American households rent storage units, according to the Self-Storage Association. The average monthly cost is $190, $2,280 annually, with wardrobe overflow cited as one of the primary reasons for rental. The clothing that couldn't fit in the closet costs $2,280 annually to store in addition to its original purchase price. The cost per wear calculation reveals the true economics more clearly than the sticker price. A $300 quality coat worn 100 times over 5 years costs $3 per wear. A $60 fast fashion coat worn 8 times before deteriorating costs $7.50 per wear, 2.5 times more expensive despite costing 80% less at purchase. The items that appear cheapest at the sticker price frequently have the highest true cost when the complete ownership picture is calculated.
Item 9. Your home's unused and underused appliances and gadgets. Every household contains a collection of items purchased with specific intentions that were never fully realized. The bread maker used 3 times, the air fryer that replaced 2 other appliances and is now stored under the counter, the exercise equipment doubling as an expensive clothing rack, the juicer, the KitchenAid mixer purchased for a phase of enthusiastic home baking that lasted 4 months. These items appear to be sunk costs, money spent in the past with no ongoing financial implication. For many of them, this is approximately true. The bread maker sitting unused in a cabinet costs nothing to ignore. But the category of unused possessions carries a true cost that operates through a different mechanism: the opportunity cost of the capital they represent and the storage cost of the space they occupy. A household with $3,000 in unused or heavily underused possessions, the collective value of items purchased but seldom touched, is holding $3,000 in capital that generates 0 return. That $3,000 invested at 8% annual returns generates $240 annually in investment income. The unused appliance collection is effectively costing $240 per year in foregone returns, simply by sitting unused rather than being liquidated and invested. The space cost is more tangible in markets where square footage is expensive. A kitchen cabinet dedicated to unused appliances in a $2,000 monthly apartment represents a monthly cost proportional to the square footage occupied, a number that is small per item but cumulative across a household's collection of unused possessions. The actionable implication is straightforward. Items that haven't been used in 12 months should be sold, donated, or disposed of.
The proceeds from selling unused items through Facebook Marketplace, eBay, or local resale convert zero return capital into investable cash. The average household that undertakes a thorough possessions audit and sells unused items recovers $500 to $2,000 in capital that can be redirected toward financial goals.
Item 10. Your financial products: insurance policies, investment accounts, and banking relationships. This final category is the most abstract and the most financially significant. The financial products most people own, their insurance policies, their investment accounts, their banking relationships, have ongoing costs that are either invisible or deliberately obscured, and those costs compound over time into some of the largest true ownership costs on this entire list. Investment account fees are the clearest example. An actively managed mutual fund with a 1% annual expense ratio charges $1,000 annually on a $100,000 portfolio. On a $500,000 portfolio, the same 1% fee costs $5,000 per year. Over 20 years, the compounding effect of that fee, the investment returns that would have been earned on the money paid in fees, represents approximately $180,000 in lost wealth on a $500,000 portfolio. The sticker price of the investment account was zero. The true cost is measured in hundreds of thousands of dollars in foregone returns. A low-cost index fund with a 0.04% expense ratio charges $40 annually on the same $100,000 portfolio. The fee difference between a typical actively managed mutual fund and a low-cost index fund is not a minor optimization. It is the largest single financial decision most investors make, and it is made by default at account opening rather than with conscious awareness of the true cost differential. Insurance policies carry a similar true cost dynamic. Whole life insurance, sold as an investment insurance hybrid, charges fees and commissions that consume a significant portion of the premium in the early years of the policy. The investment component grows at rates that consistently underperform simple index investing by a wide margin after the embedded costs are accounted for. The sticker price is a monthly premium that sounds comparable to term life insurance. The true cost is the gap between the policy's actual investment performance and the returns a pure investment would have generated with the same premium dollars. Bank accounts at traditional institutions charge maintenance fees, offer near zero interest on savings, and provide no competitive return on deposits that the bank is simultaneously lending at significantly higher rates. A $10,000 emergency fund sitting in a traditional savings account at 0.01% interest earns $1 annually. The same $10,000 in a high-yield savings account at 4.5% earns $450 annually. The true annual cost of the traditional savings account, measured as foregone interest income, is $449 per year on a single $10,000 balance. The 10 items on this list share a single structural feature. Every one of them has a sticker price that captured attention at the point of purchase and ongoing costs that operate invisibly afterward. The car's depreciation is silent. The phone's carrier plan feels like a utility. The credit card's interest accumulates in the background. The investment account's fees are expressed as a percentage that sounds small until it's translated into dollars over decades. The pet's emergency veterinary risk doesn't exist as a line item until it does. Adding up the true annual costs across all 10 categories for a typical American household produces a number that is genuinely alarming. Vehicle ownership, $12,000 to $14,000. Housing beyond the mortgage or rent payment, $8,000 to $12,000 in taxes, insurance, and maintenance. Smartphone ecosystem, $2,500 to $3,200. Home entertainment, $2,400 to $4,200.
Fitness and wellness infrastructure, $2,400 to $3,600. Credit card interest on carried balances, $1,500 to $3,000. Wardrobe replacement and maintenance, $1,800 to $2,500. Unused possessions opportunity cost, $200 to $500. Financial product fees and foregone returns, $1,000 to $5,000. The true annual cost of owning the average American household's possessions and financial products, beyond all the visible payments that appear in the monthly budget, reaches $33,800 to $52,000 per year. That number is not the mortgage and the car payment and the phone bill and the utilities. Those are the visible costs that people budget for. The number above is what the budget misses: the depreciation, the maintenance, the fees, the interest, the foregone returns, the costs that are real and ongoing and almost never appear in any household financial plan. The sticker price was an invitation. These are the terms of the relationship it invited you into. Understanding those terms does not require giving everything up. It requires knowing what everything actually costs, so that future decisions about what to acquire, what to keep, and what to optimize are made with the complete picture rather than just the number on the tag. The most powerful financial question is not, what does this cost to buy? It is, what will this cost me to own? That question, applied consistently, changes everything. If you stayed with me until the end, I'd really appreciate it if you subscribed to the channel, and if this video was helpful in any way, make sure to hit like. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Love you!